What is going on, all of my amazing people of the planet? I am D Venom. You are all tuned into Raising Vibrations Podcast. I hope all of my people of the planet are staying on that straight and narrow and doing everything possible to elude those psychic vampires, negative energies, including those podbean trolls and scallywags from one's lives. We all should know by now that those particular elements only take away from, only take away from our energies and vibrations. If we could elude them at all costs, we have done our own selves some justice. And with that being said, let's get into this evening's episode, starting right now. All right, you guys. As mentioned, I am D Venom, solo. The birds are, of course, at home. I just arrived across the street from my apartment to record this particular episode. Anyway, the day thus far has been a lovely day. The sun is out. There's no clouds in the sky, at least in my area. And, we served the children at work and did all of that. And it's just been a blessing. Ever since I woke up this morning, I spoke with my mom. I think I had some coffee. I did a couple of other things, took care of my birds' needs. I'm blessed and I'm happy. I escaped the matrix. Thank God. Things are uplifting, and I'm just really, I'm here with you all. I'm just happy. Anyway, you guys, I want to catch y'all up to speed because there was a little bit of a hiatus since I made some recordings, and some things had passed, and I just want to let y'all know some of the things that occurred during that hiatus. Now, we talked addiction, in yesterday's episode, and we really haven't touched bases in regard to my addiction or whatever. Just know that things are fine, and I'll let that be the reason as of right now. But anyway, I want to somewhat touch bases on the person that I said put themselves through rehab in two different states. I think from what a little birdie has told me, I think that they have pretty much went well back into the matrix, and it's a shame because I was rooting for this person. We're basically rooting for each other, so to speak, because they know about my addiction as well. But, I was rooting for this person because they really did themselves some justice by putting their own self through rehabilitation, not only in the state that they reside in, but they, took it upon themselves to get flown to a different state on the West Coast to continue with their, rehabilitation and walk with sobriety. And, hopefully this is not true, but to, hear that this person could possibly be well back into the matrix and, falling into them same traps, and temptations it's heartbreaking. I, from what a little birdie, has told me, this individual has, backtracked and, a person that they kicked out of their lives, to get themselves together, they are now speaking to again and having communications and stuff like that. And, this person, from what I know, is known to, be a part of the matrix. And, the only thing that I can say is that, and I said it before, we can't help everyone because everyone is not meant to be helped. Some people don't want your fucking help. They want you to leave them the fuck alone and allow them to do what they're doing. And that's have a good time in their definition. Tweet, bump, geek, whatever you want to call it these days. This is what these individuals want to do. And, it's taken away from the people that really do want the help. So, this is where I'm at. Those people that really do want the help are the people that I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on people that, are going to be draining, exhausting, vampires. I have enough psychic vampires in my life as it is. I don't need any more. Anyway, I mean, I don't know my people of addiction. I really don't. The only thing that I can do is just spread the word in regard to what I know about addiction, what I've gone through. And, I spread the word. I spread the word to the point where, I was discovered by VoyagePhoenix.com magazine. And they, thought that what I put out there in regard to my life and my struggle was an interesting story, obviously, because they interviewed me. But anyway, you guys, let me catch y'all up to speed because all I can do and all we can do is come together as a unit and meditate and pray upon, the world and, where it's going and those people out there that need help in regard to addiction and so forth. With a universal meditation, the energies from that are so profound. It can do some healing. Trust me. If you guys are willing to do this, then I'm willing to do it with you. It's going to be energy draining, trust me, but it's well worth it in order to save a few lives. Okay, anyway, we talked addiction for a moment. Now we're going to talk, my morning, which was fine. I told you guys about my morning. Moving on, the Russian. I'm not really sure what's going on with myself and the Russian. They're busy, in Russia working and stuff like that and, staying afloat just like I am here in America. I find our relationship to be very interesting. I do think that perhaps they could be a twin flame. This has been told to me via angelic numbers on several of occasions. So I'm going to take it for what it is. This motherfucker is the damn twin flame. And, if we're meant to be, then we're meant to be. If we're not, then we're not. But, we do correspond with each other quite often on Telegram. Anyway, when I first met them via Telegram, not to tell our business, but people have insecurities. And, I thought that it was because this is how this person is, in regard to wearing facial masks and things like that. It's like a masquerade party. You just don't know who's underneath that mask. And I absolutely loved it. I told the motherfucker to give me a damn mask because I want to wear one. I like shit like that. But, they were hiding their face in the beginning because, they go through their own insecurities and, they felt like they are a ugly, monster is what I believe they call themselves. And this person is not unattractive at all, and even if they were, who gives a fuck? My heart is not about all that. I'm for the person and, he's a nice looking young man. Anyway, to know that, shit, motherfucking Russians have insecurities. Damn, what the fuck? Where's all this coming from? I thought my Russians were, some hardcore motherfuckers. Y'all show that shit in porn. Okay. Y'all definitely hardcore in the motherfucking porn videos. But, I guess every person in every counter of the world, if, that didn't come out right. Every person within this world goes through some form of insecurity. I don't give a fuck how good you look. You can be a GQ model, bitch. You still you got and probably have the littlest dick in the world. Okay. Who cares? You can be the beautifulest woman in the motherfucking world and pussy probably stank and smell like reindeer ass. Okay, let's just keep it real. Somebody, we all have our insecurities. I have my own insecurities. They wanted me to smile and, because, they see my teeth and my teeth they're the greatest, but they aren't. I can use some braces and stuff like that. And I wish that my, family would have took it upon themselves years ago to notice that I have an overbite and, I could use braces. And, when I received, my Social Security money, not to tell my business, but when I received my Social Security money, that should have went on me, you know what I'm saying, instead of other shit that, didn't really matter. I needed my teeth fixed. I needed a lot of things going on in regard to my own self. Anyway, I'm taken away from myself and the Russian. But, he wore that mask for a while until, he got used to me, because I don't give a fuck about that. I'm down for you. I'm not down for, I'm just down for you. I mean, your looks and all of that type of stuff. I mean, you have personality that overrides everything. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he's allegedly straight. We met on my podcast. I went live. They joined one of my live sessions, and we had a long conversation, and they wanted to continue that via Telegram. And, we did, and it continued and blossomed from there. Now, I don't know if they're going to be, boning me or whatever the case may be, and if I don't know what the hell the future may bring. As of right now, I must focus on what I have going, what my shit in America. I will say that they did ask me for money, not in a way that I've been approached in regard to, can I send them money? They was flat out, we had a conversation about some things, and they were flat out, with it. They asked me, could I send them money and how to send it and whatever else. And I just told them I can't do it. I have a life in America that I have to take care of. And, I can't. But, I felt bad because they were explaining to me why, they wanted me to send them a little extra change. And, they have a hard life in Russia. They're working extra hours to make ends meet and whatever else. And, I don't want to tell too much, but, they're eating rubbish, not necessarily garbage, but not necessarily good food either. If the universe is willing, things will blossom on both of our ends. And if the universe and source is willing, this person won't be in Russia, or shit, I may be in Russia. I doubt that though. But, this person may just be here. Who's to say? I'm not sure. But, anyway, I'm going to move on from that. Let me see. Oh, they did talk about suicide. I don't know if I talked them out of it, but, considering, how things are in, Russia, they did speak of, a possible suicide. And, of course, I didn't want that to happen. And, they're still here. So obviously, they're not contemplating that anymore. And I am, I'm happy about that. Now I'm not quite sure about what they told me in regard to having a certain time frame to live. Now, I don't want the person to pass away, due to whatever they have going on. But, from the sounds of it, I think it's going to be promising in regard to them being here on Earth. Now, I'm not sure if that was a way to try and swindle me, in regard to telling me that they have a certain time period to live. But, I don't believe it. I believe that they're fine. They do smoke heavy cigarettes, but I do believe that they're actually fine. And, they're just going through a hard period and, need some help. Let me see. Moving on. Okay, we talked about that, how the angelic number, how I think it was 988 that told me that pretty much we are a twin flame and whatever else. Okay, talk therapists and how I haven't spoken to them. I haven't. And I'm not mad at my therapist just because they didn't go live with me. That's not the whole point. My whole point is, how long am I going to allow people to treat me a particular way? I'm sick of that shit. You could have easily picked up the phone and told me like, hey, I'm having some company or whatever. That company may, run through the time that we are supposed to go live, and, let that be the reason, either we're going to go live after that or we're not, But to text me and talk about some, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sick of I'm sick of the whole text message bullshit. I have a voice, obviously. I'm using it right now on my fucking podcast. I can speak well and, well, shit, whenever my ADHD is not taking over, but I can speak well for myself and I advocated for my grandmother, during her old age. And, I advocated for a lot of damn people in my life. So I have a voice and I love to use it at times, just put it that way. But, pick up the phone and call me. It's just as simple. It's that fucking simple. Just pick up the phone and call a person and be like, hey, this is going on, whatever else the case may be. I'm getting some dick. I don't give a fuck what you were doing. And you don't have to explain anything, but I'm the type of person I like to give I like to give an explanation because it's not about my time. It's about that person's time as well. They have a life. They have things to do. And one of them things is not sitting around waiting on me all motherfucking day. And I like to keep people informed. And a lot of people just don't like to do that. And if they do, they want to do it at the last minute, after they done, fulfilled their needs or, fun or whatever the case may be. They weren't thinking about, me until afterwards. And, I hate to say this about my therapist, but it's just like, I have love for them because they've been my therapist for a long time. But, just because you've been my therapist for a long time, just because we're both gay and we're both queens or whatever the case may be, don't mean anything. The whole point of it is, what are you doing for me and what have you done for me? Yes, you have done, you gave me great resources and my therapist has been a great person in my life. But as far as holding me accountable for when I, merge off the straight and narrow and relapse and, going to get me tested or, anything of that particular nature, I don't get held accountable for. And, if I want my life to be better and if I want, that's just, if I want my life to be better, period. I must manifest people, places, and things that are going to help me. And my therapist isn't helping me the way that I need to be helped. There's things in my past that need to be addressed. There are things currently that need to be addressed. There's just things that need to be addressed that aren't being addressed. And lately, I've just been feeling like it's just been an unbalanced relationship. I feel like it's been a little bit more about my therapist than what it has been me. And, I'm a little over it. And, I'm to the point where, it's about to be 1:44 here in Arizona. Angelic time for not only myself, but for you guys as well. But anyway, I'm in the process of, looking for a new therapist. And as a matter of fact, when I get done with this episode, I'm going to be making some phone calls because, I got to get some shit on the bandwagon in regard to, seeing a psychiatrist, getting the proper medication that I need in regard to my bipolar and my ADHD, and reaching out to some support systems out there because I don't know all about my mental disorders. I hate to call them that, but imbalances. I don't know all about my mental imbalances, and it would be nice to know about these things, and therefore I can treat them in a whole different manner as well. But no disrespect to my therapist. As at 1:44, angelic time, baby, angelic time. Speak to me, angels. Let me know what y'all want me to know. Anyway, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That totals the number 9. Anyway, so like I said, I don't have any, hate towards my therapist or anything like that, but I must continue on in regard to climbing that mountain. I have to continue climbing that mountain. I can't go backwards. And if that means getting a new therapist, then that just means getting a new therapist. Anyway, let's see here. Now, a while back, I'll say, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I haven't told y'all, I was having hot water issues. And, in a nutshell, come to find out because maintenance personnel came over and, it was, the circuit breaker. Once again, it had to deal with the motherfucking circuit breaker. Now, I'm not sure what was making this problem, because when I pulled up, first of all, they said it was going to be coming over either that following day or the next day. So I assumed they was coming over the next day because they didn't really give me a definitive answer whether they were coming over that day or not. So when I arrived home, I seen the truck out there in the parking lot and shit like that. And I guess they was already there waiting for me. And I was in my car bumping Diana Ross and the Supremes. Love is like a itching in your heart instrumental. And I didn't get out the car until that shit was done. So I guess he was annoyed by that as well. Anyway, I get out the car and I go up to the door, and I could just tell energy wise that, yeah. So I said something to them, and they gave me like a little glib remark, and I just said anyway. And because I wasn't feeling no smartness, and we went into the house, and that I allowed them to check the heat and all of that. So anyway, they got done doing what they were doing, and so they addressed me, and I'm like, so we were talking about the heat situation. Come to find out, in a nutshell, the motherfucking circuit breaker was off, and I guess all it needed to be turned on. My whole thing is, I don't work for motherfucking maintenance. I don't work for the landlord. I don't work for that. The people that cut my motherfucking paychecks are the people that deal with the school district, not the landlord or whatever, or the property management team that deals with my living situation. They don't cut my checks. I've dealt with circuit breakers and stuff in the past, and I was able to turn them on and whatever. I didn't have no difficulties with them. I'm not inadequate at all. I know how to, I know how to turn on a motherfucking switch and turn off a switch. But in this case, not with the hot water. Wait, was it with the hot water where the circuit breaker wouldn't turn on? Either way it goes, the motherfucker wouldn't turn on for me, but it turned on for maintenance. Anyway, I told this motherfucker that I don't deal with the circuit breakers, which I don't. That's y'all motherfucking job. If y'all have to come, who knows how many miles to come out over to my place to check the motherfucker. Shit, y'all getting paid. I guess y'all getting paid. I'm not. Shit. Hell, I don't want to fuck nothing up no more than what the fuck it already is. So if maintenance can come over there and turn the motherfucker on and get it to work, hey. But anyway, I'm still not getting the hot water that I like. I like to take a good hot shower for, at least about 10, 15 motherfucking minutes. The water stays hot for at least about 5-6 minutes, and then it goes cold. I don't like shit like that. And allegedly it's fixed because the damn circuit breaker is to the hot water is on now. Either way it goes, I'm manifesting a lot better in my life. I need to get into a meditative state. I need to bring forth what I have already put out to the universe in regard to where I want to be, the type of neighbors that I want to have, all that type of shit. And now it's just time for me to work, do the work on my end in order to bring all of that into fruition. And I am. I don't have time. I have things to do with my life. And considering, the most recent events that I put myself in, which I'll share with you guys at another time and date, I definitely don't have the motherfucking time. I'm 48. I have to get my shit together. Anyway, let me see. I'm just reading some shit, my notes. Well, I guess that's another thing I was tripping about in regard to the circuit breaker situation. Now, our building is being sold, and we've lately, well, not lately, but we recently had some inspectors, some potential buyers and so forth come over to the units and check out everybody's place and take pictures and just invade a person's privacy type scenario. And come to find out there's a lot wrong with the motherfucking apartment complex or our building, so to speak. And people don't want to buy that shit until all of that stuff is rectified. And I don't blame them, because if you are a potential buyer, you are you're already already spending a astronomical amount of money to buy the place. And you gonna spend just as much money to get the shit fixed when it should already been up to par. And this is what I'm saying, in regard to my landlord, and I hate to put it out there, but wanting to patch up shit and think that that's going to be fine. Eventually you're going to have to spend the money in order to get things fixed properly, and let that be the reason. And come to find out, it seems like they're going to be spending quite a bit of money to get things fixed the way that they should be fixed in order to get that damn building sold. But since then, because I told you guys, myself and the landlord had some words with each other, with them threatening me, telling me that they're from Chicago and we can get physical. They since then called to ask me some questions in regard to the heat, the hot water, and shit that has been fixed, so to speak. So they were asking me questions in regards to all of that stuff, and then they further went on to apologize in regards to their actions on that particular evening. I didn't accept it, and I didn't deny it. I acknowledged it, I will tell you that. I just let it be the reason. I'm still not staying there. I still want to move on with my life and with my living quarters. I'm not going to be a fool. You treated me as inadequate once, and you're not going to treat me as inadequate again, just because you're apologizing for your actions or whatever. You obviously think that I'm going to stay put, and you guys are going to, remain in the contract with Section 8, and all is going to be fine. No, you don't talk to your tenants in that particular way. And I I talked to him in a particular way as well. And I didn't have no business doing that. But, either way it goes, neither one of us had any right to talk to each other the way that we talk to each other. I just want to move on. And that's all, no hard feelings. I just want to move on with my life, and find other energies to be around. Anyway, let me see here. Okay, that's pretty much it. I got y'all caught up to speed. Thank you, Jesus. I really wanted to do that, you guys, because, I did fall off for a minute, in regard to the hiatus. And I see that, cause at first I was on iTunes and all type of stuff. Now that has, you missed a damn episode, Podbean. God dang, y'all. It's like you have to start all over again in regard to your statistics, and that's fine. I know that I have to work y'all y'all up, work myself back into y'all good gracious. That's how you say it. But anyway, I have to work myself back into y'all, into y'all hearts again, if that's the right word to say. But anyway, or if that's the right word to use, my bad. But anyway, I don't know, child. I don't know. But I do know. I'm just happy, I'm just, I still got this damn cold or whatever the case may be. And like I said, we'll talk more in depth about this situation at another time and date. I got it all wrote down. I have it all wrote down in regard to, my how can I say it? My, ratchet times, just put it that way, and how it caught up to me. But anyway, not now. All right, you guys, I am going to end this and, get home. I'm wasting gas because it's hot out here, and I have the air on in the car, and but I'm going to replay this episode back and see if I made any mistakes and go from there. But I'm going to go home and I'm going to find something to eat and maybe take a nap, because I was tired all day today. I just wasn't feeling it. But it's over and done with in regard to work, all of that stuff, and I get to go home and just chill. All right. Oh, and take my multivitamins. I need to take them. Yes. I bought some yesterday, you guys. When we get a specific age, you're close to our 50s, it's time to get those colonoscopies. It's time for a lot of stuff, and thank God I went to my primary doctor and, I did some blood work and, aside from, whatever, I'm pretty much healthy. I just need to, matter of fact, I need to call my, healthcare provider so that I can figure out, how we're going to do this in regard to the psychiatrist and, me getting, the proper medication that I need for my, bipolar and ADHD. So let me end this for real. I am D Venom alone because the birds are at the crib. But, anyway, this has been Raising Vibrations Podcast. Until my next episode, you guys, lots of LLS, which is love, light, and support of oneself and each other. And with that being said, you all have a good one and namaste.